So the next one, just up to this whatever we covered. So what is exception hierarchy? What is checked exception, unchecked exception, partially checked, fully checked? These are things we covered, right? So related to exception handling, the theoretical things we covered. Now the next thing is we have to dance with the keywords only, so that you people can get much interest, so much interest on the concept. Okay, the remaining things will become very easy until last few things. Once again theory will come. Until that we have to perform postmortem on keywords, how to use syntactical loopholes, these kind of things we are going to discuss. Okay, now sir, we cover default exception handling in Java. Sir, if something goes wrong, by default what will happen? The program will be terminated abnormally, and the default exception handler is responsible to handle that exception. I don't want abnormal termination, because in the abnormal termination I may miss something, I may block some resources. That's why I don't want abnormal termination. If we don't want abnormal termination, how we can handle? Okay, this is how we can handle exception in our customized way by using try catch. Are you getting that? What or in what way we can handle? Keep submitting. Customized exception handling. Customized exception handling. Customized exception handling by using try catch. Customized exception handling by using try catch. Customized exception handling by using try catch. By using try catch. Customized exception handling by using try catch. Okay. So just observe this point well. Sir, without a try catch, with a try catch, both I will explain. Here say this point well. Sir, first off, without a try catch. Sir, I don't know what is the try catch first. Assume without a try catch, how we can write the code, and with a try catch, how we can write that part I will explain. Here say, observe, I'm taking class test. I'm taking class test. Okay, public static void main method string array args. Class test public static void main string array args. Now my target is, sir, I'm taking here system.out.println SOP of, system.out.println statement 1. System.out.println 10 by 0 I'm taking 10 by 0. Next system.out.println statement 3 I'm taking, right? End of this one and so on. Sir, here observe. So this one, is it a normal termination or abnormal termination? Abnormal termination, because sir, statement 1 executed, but here the problem came, arithmetic exception, but we are not handling. Then default exception handler is responsible to handle. Default exception handler terminates the program abnormally. That's why, do you know what is the output by default we are going to get? Statement 1 we will get, and then runtime exception, arithmetic exception, division by 0, like this we are getting. Are you getting? Runtime exception, arithmetic exception, division by 0 by default we are going to get. Any explanation is required? Okay, this is make sure. Sir, is it normal termination or abnormal termination? Abnormal termination. Is it recommended or not recommended? Not recommended. Sir, this one abnormal termination, and this one is nothing but not recommended. What is the problem? What is the reason? Assume the, sir, here open database connection. Assume this one is the open database connection, reading data, and close database connection. Open database connection, read the data, closing database connection. I open database connection successfully, but while reading data, some exception got raised. If I am not handling, the program will be terminated here only. If the program terminated here, then who is going to close the database connection? No one. One database connection we are going to waste. Are you getting that? We are blocking our resources. Is nothing but one resource is going to be wasted. That's why, because of abnormal termination, we are missing something. We are losing something. That's why abnormal termination is not graceful termination, which is not at all recommended. Are you getting? Sir, I want to handle exception by using try catch. With the try catch, how I can do that? Okay, just let me explain. Sir, same cinema with the try catch I am taking. Same example with the try catch. Try catch, right? Sir, here observe class test. Same program. Class test. Public static void main method. String array args. Class test public static void main string array args. Now my target is here observe system.out.println statement 1. Listen, sir, among this code, which code may raise an exception or which line may raise an exception? SOP of 10/0. The code which may raise an exception is called a risky code. Boss, it is the risky code. That risky code we have to take inside a try block. Are you getting? Now observe this one. System.out.println statement 1. It is not risky code. Normal code, write normally. But SOP of 10/0, risky code. That risky code we have to take inside try block. Try system.out.println 10/0. Try. Boss, risky code we have to take inside a try. The code which may raise an exception we have to take inside a try. Next, the code corresponding handling code. Boss, if an exception rises, this is the handling code where we have to take is nothing but inside catch block. Catch. So can you tell which type of exception may be a chance to rise? Arithmetic exception, because we are performing arithmetic operations. Catch arithmetic exception. Catch arithmetic exception E. Arithmetic exception E. Now, sir, while performing these arithmetic operation, if any exception occurs, instead of that, can you please perform alternative arithmetic operations? Now, system.out.println 10/2 like this I am taking. SOP of 10/2. Try statement 1. Try catch like. Now, system.out.println statement 3 I am taking. Statement 3, end of the try block, end of the main method, end of the class. Are you getting right? Now observe the code which may raise an exception. That code is called what? Risky code. We have to take risky code in try block. Are you getting right? Okay, this is, sir, within the try block, which code we have to take Anna? Oi, within the try block, which code we have to take? Risky code, but not whiskey. Ayo, whiskey is also risky, right? No, na, Amrutama, na, whiskey is also risky, right? Okay, like, sir, within the try block, we have to take risky code. We have to take risky code. Okay, this is. Next, the corresponding handling code where we have to take inside catch block. Catch, maybe any exception, the corresponding exception. Within that, we have to take what? Handling code. Okay, like, make sure you people should aware. Sir, this is. Now, because of this try catch, now observe, there is a big change in the behavior. What is the changes? Sir, can you tell what is the output we are going to get now? Sir, statement 1. Statement 1 will be printed normally. Statement 1. And while executing SOP of 10/0, arithmetic exception will be raised. If arithmetic exception occurs, then immediately control will goes to what? Catch block. So SOP of 10/2. 5. After completing catch block, can you please execute remaining code? Is nothing but what? Statement 3 is the nothing but like we are getting. Sir, now can you tell, is it normal termination or abnormal termination? Normal, even though exception raised, but we handle and we are continuing further. It's a normal termination only. Now observe normal termination, graceful termination, because we are not going to miss anything, right? Normal termination. Are you getting? So this is the way how we can handle exceptions by using try catch. Sir, the risky code we have to take inside the try block. Next, and handling code, corresponding handling code we have to take inside catch block. Now terminology is very clear for you people, right? At this point. At this point, well, it is highly recommended. It is highly recommended to handle exceptions. It is highly recommended to handle exceptions. Highly recommended to handle exceptions. highly recommended to handle exceptions. Next, the code which may raise an exception. The code which may raise an exception. The code which may raise an exception. Which may raise an exception is called. The code which may raise an exception is called risky code. Is called risky code. Is called risky code. The code which may raise an exception is called risky code. Risky code. And we have to define that code. And we have to define that code. And we have to define that code. That code inside a try block. And we have to define that code inside try. We have to define that code inside try block. And corresponding handling code and corresponding handling code we have to define inside catch block. And the corresponding handling code we have to define. Corresponding handling code we have to define inside catch block. Corresponding handling code we have to define inside catch block. Inside catch block. Okay. Take this code first. This one. Within the box whatever we took. Take this part first. Try a risky code, catch block, handling code. Only this part. Try risky code, catch exception E, handling code. Catch exception E, handling code. Catch exception E, handling code. Are you getting the point, right? Okay, this is try and then catch, right? Okay. Now next point. Here see. Now terminology is very very clear for you. Now better to take this program side by side. Without a try catch, with a try catch. Without a try catch, with a try catch. One is normal termination. The other one is abnormal termination. One is normal termination. Second, abnormal termination. Abnormal termination. With the try catch and SOP of statement 1 like completed, I hope. I hope clear, right? Class test like without a try catch, with a try catch. Without a try catch. Next with a try catch. SOP of statement 1 10 by 0. SOP of statement 3. So abnormal termination. Second one normal termination. Completed, right? Abnormal termination, second normal termination, like clear for all of you, right? Okay. Now keep subheading control flow in try catch, control flow in try catch, control flow in try catch, try catch. Okay, sir, here just observe, listen, control flow in try catch. Sir, I am taking try, listen, try. Within the try block, I am taking statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Try 1, 2, 3. Catch block exception E, statement 4. Statement 4. And then I am taking statement 5. Okay. So here total how many statements are there? 5 statements. 1 to 5 statement, from 1 to 5. Anywhere an exception rises, you have to tell in which order the statements are going to be executed. If we handle, not handle, what will happen? Like, first to take this code, and then multiple cases we are going to discuss. Try statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Try statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Catch block statement 4, catch block statement 4, and then statement 5, and then statement 5, like this. Are you getting the point? Statement 5. Okay, add the point, add up to this is the clear. Okay, now case 1, if there is no exception, add case 1. If there is no exception, sir, can you tell, if there is no exception, in which order the statements will be executed? 1, 2, 3, and then 5. Catch block won't be executed because there is no exception, right? So 1, 2, 3, 5. Normal termination or abnormal termination? Normal termination, right? Are you getting? Add 1, 2, 3, 5. Normal termination. 1, 2, 3, 5. Normal termination. Okay, that's all. Next up, case 2. Okay, take a bit special care about this second case. If legend first. If an exception rises at a statement 2, an exception rises at statement 2, and the corresponding catch block matched. Oh, there is a match is there. An exception rises at statement 2 and the corresponding catch block matched. Then in which order the statements will be executed? Can I spell out? 1 will be executed. Sir, one thing. Here the problem came. Immediately the control is coming to catch block 1, 4, and then 1, 4, 5 or 3, 5. Anyone feeling 3 is going to execute? Okay, make sure within the try block, if anywhere an exception rises, then so corresponding catch block will be executed, right? After completing catch block, the control won't go back to try, simple execute remaining statements only. Sir, for these alternative operations I did already. Catch block is nothing but alternative operation. Then continue further. What is the need of going back once again? So within the try block, if anywhere an exception rises, rest of the try block won't be executed, even though we handled that exception. That's why within the try block we have to take only risky code, but not normal code. Length of the try block should be as less as possible. Best example in this, sir, here statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Like I have 3 statements are there, but which statement I took inside try block? Only SOP of 10/0. Are you getting? Why I am not taking statement 1 and statement 3 within the try? Because so statement 1 and statement 3 are not risky code. I am not performing any arithmetic operation. The code which may raise an exception, that risky code only we have to take inside a try block. So because if anywhere an exception rises, rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. That's why length of the try block should be as less as possible. Are you getting right? Only risky code we have to take. Have you observed within this try how many lines I took? How many lines I took? Only one. Because, so that is the only risky code. That's why risky code only we have to take, not normal Java code. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. Now, make sure here observe this. Sir, I am taking one very, very important point. Do you know, it's a worst kind of programming practice. Most of the people are going to do. Do you know, here they will keep, sir, class or test. Legend this one. Public static void main string array args. Very common programming practice for most of the people. I don't know the reason. They will open try here. They will open try. And total, at last the catch block exception E, like they are going to take. The problem here is, very unfortunately, at line number 1 only exception rises. Then immediately the control is coming to catch block. Without executing 9,999 lines of the code, how I can expect proper behavior, right? That's why don't take normal code inside a try block. We have to take only risky code inside a try block. Observe that. So length of the try block should be as less as possible. If you want, so multiple try blocks you can take, no problem at all. Sir, here this is my total code. This is one risky area. This is one risky area. This is one risky area. What you can do? So even though 3 risky areas are there, don't enclose within a single try block. Because if I enclose within the single try block, if an exception rises, then immediately the control is coming to catch block. But without executing these many lines of the code, how I can expect proper behavior of my code? That's why if you have this type of thing is there, what you can do? Keep this one inside a try catch. Are you getting? Keep this one inside a try catch. Next, keep this one inside a try catch. Keep this one inside a try catch. So, this type of coding practice is nothing but highly recommended. Are you able to understand? Length of the try block should be as less as possible. Are you getting the point? Now, anyway, at last I will give the notes first at case 2. Case 2. If an exception rises, yet a statement 2. If an exception rises, yet a statement 2, and the corresponding catch block matched. If an exception rises at statement 2 and corresponding catch block matched. Can you tell what is the flow now? An exception rises at statement 2 and corresponding catch block matched. 1, and then what? 4, and then 5. Normal termination. 1, 4, 5. Normal termination. 1, 4, 5. Normal termination. Normal termination. Okay, that's all. Next, case 3. If an exception rises, yet a statement 2. If an exception rises, yet a statement 2, and the corresponding catch block not matched, and the corresponding catch block not matched, corresponding catch block not matched, corresponding catch block not matched, Can I spell out? What is the thing? Sir, statement. If an exception rises at statement 1, statement 2, corresponding catch block not matched. Sir, 1 will be executed. And then there is no catch block. Stop the program abnormally. 1 followed by abnormal termination. Okay, at 1, abnormal termination. 1, abnormal termination. Termination. 1 followed by abnormal termination. Okay, completed, right? Okay, next one. If an exception rises, next case, if an exception rises, yet a statement 4. If an exception rises, yet a statement 4, Yet a statement 4. Now legend this one. Sir, do you know, most of the people are going to feel, sir, exceptions will be raised only inside a try. No. Exceptions can be raised inside catch block and finally block also. Because catch block is also Java code only. Inside finally block also contain Java code only. Best example, while using Oracle database, if any problem came. Okay. Now within the catch block, communicate with MySQL database. Are you getting? Is there any guarantee MySQL database also will work always? Maybe a problem with MySQL database also. Okay, this is, are you getting? So within the catch block also, we are writing Java code only. There may be a chance of raising an exception. Don't feel exceptions will be raised only in the try, not in catch block like. Sir, if an exception raised here raised at statement 4, of course, how the statement 4 came? Because of problem at 1 or 2 or 3. Somewhere problem raised, because of that I am giving the chance to catch block. While executing catch block, if an exception raised, what will happen? Legend this one. Sir, if any statement which raises an exception, any statement which raises an exception, which is not a part of try block. Sir, it is not there inside a try. It is not there inside a try. It is always abnormal termination. The reason is, if this statement is there inside a try, there may be a chance of catch block. If the catch block is there, normal termination. But it is not there inside a try. If it is not there inside a try, then there is no corresponding catch block. If the catch block is not there, normal termination or abnormal termination? Abnormal termination. That's why thumb rule. If any statement which raises an exception and it is not part of try block, then it is always abnormal termination. Are you getting? Now can you tell, if an exception raised at statement 4, sir, statement 4 is a part of try block? No, it is not part of any try. If it is not part of try, no chance of occurring catch block. No catch block, abnormal termination. Sir, if an exception raised at statement 4, normal termination or abnormal termination? Normal or abnormal? Abnormal. If an exception raised at statement 5, normal or abnormal? Statement 5, normal or abnormal? Abnormal, because it's not part of any try block. Okay, at this point. If an exception raised at statement 4 or statement 5, if an exception raised at statement 4 or statement 5, then it is always abnormal termination. Then it is always abnormal termination. If an exception occurs at statement 4 or statement 5, then it is always abnormal termination. Then it is always abnormal termination. Abnormal termination. That's all. Are you able to understand the point, right? Okay, these are the control flow in simple try catch. Sir, from try 1 to 5, if anywhere an exception rises, you have to decide in which order the statements will execute. Is it normal or abnormal termination? Right. Next, take a note. There are some theoretical things we have to conclude. Note. Have you remembered one point we covered? If an exception rises within the try block anywhere, then rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. Hence, within the try block we have to take only risky code and the length of try block should be as less as possible. Correct or not? Okay, add. Within the try block, first point, note first one. Within the try block, if anywhere an exception rises, anywhere an exception rises, then rest of the try block won't be executed. Rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. Rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. Rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. Hence, within the try block we have to take within the try block we have to take only risky code. Within the try block we have to take only risky code. Within the try block we have to take only risky code. Risky code. And length of try block should be, and the length of try block should be, and the length of try block should be as less as possible. And the length of try block should be as less as possible. Length of try block should be as less as possible. As less as possible. That's all. First one. Next, second point here is legend. Sir, here in addition to try, there may be a chance of raising an exception inside catch block and inside finally block also. Finally we will discuss soon. Sir, don't expect exceptions are always going to be raised only inside the try. There may be a chance of rising inside catch block and the finally blocks also. Okay, note 2 at this point. Note 2, second point. In addition to try block, try block, there may be a chance of rising an exception inside. There may be a chance of rising an exception. There may be a chance of rising an exception inside. There may be a chance of rising an exception inside catch and finally blocks. There may be a chance of rising an exception inside catch and finally blocks. Catch and finally blocks. There may be a chance of rising an exception inside catch and finally blocks. Catch and finally blocks. Okay, so this is next third point. Legend this point we covered. Sir, if any statement which raises an exception, sir, this statement raises an exception. If any statement which raises an exception and it is not a part of try block, sir, it is not there inside a try, is it normal termination or abnormal termination? Always abnormal termination, because there is no catch block at. If any statement which is not part of try block, if any statement which is not part of try block, and raises an exception, if any statement which is not part of try block and raises an exception, then it is always abnormal termination. It's always abnormal termination. That's all. Are you able to understand, right? Okay, so make sure you people should have clear clarity. What is exception is nothing but like what is, in the control try catch, what is the control flow? If anywhere an exception rises, how you can handle, what is the control flow, you people clear, right? Next, keep subheading methods to print exception information. Methods to print exception information. Sir, there are several methods are there to print exception information. Something like print stack trace, we covered somewhere. Print stack trace. Next, get message, toString. Like there are several methods are there, but what is exact difference between these? When we should go for which method? Compulsory we should have clear clarity, right? Okay, let me explain here. See, sir, I am taking class test. Legend this example well. Sir, I am taking class test. Public static void main method string array args. Public static void main string array args. Sir, what are various methods are there to print exception information? Let me consider. Try block. I am taking try block. System.out.println 10/0 I am taking, because let me handle, while handling I will print try SOP of 10/0 catch block I'm taking. Which exception will be raised? Arithmetic exception. That's why arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception E. And here there are multiple ways are there to handle. Sometimes we may use E dot print stack trace. E dot print stack trace. Sometimes we may use this one. Are you getting E dot print stack trace? Second possibility, here is observed. There may be a chance. There may be a chance to use SOP of E. Are you getting SOP of E like this we are using? Or SOP of E dot to string. Can I use the term both are same or not? SOP of E and SOP of E dot to string. Or whenever we are trying to print any object reference, internally which method will be called? ToString method will be called. Same thing only. Next, there may be a chance of E dot print stack trace. Next, SOP of E dot get message method also. E dot get message method also is nothing but like. So total, in how many ways? In how many methods are there? To print exception information, 3 methods. Print stack trace, ToString, get message. Sir, what is the difference between these 3 methods? Are getting you people may feel, sir, what exact difference, right? Simple. If I use a print stack trace, then we will get name of the exception. Can you tell what is the name of the exception here? Arithmetic exception. Do you know? Sir, I want name of the exception. Java.lang. Arithmetic exception. Colon description. Division by 0. Under stack trace. Sir, where the problem came? Yet test dot main method. Sir, if you want complete information like this, name of the exception, description, under stack trace, then which method we should go for is nothing but print stack trace method. Are you getting right? If you want name of the exception, description, under stack trace, then we should go for which method? Print stack trace method. If we want, sir, I want a name of the exception, description, stack trace not required. Yet a tester dot main not required. Just I want java.lang arithmetic exception colon division by 0 colon division by 0 java.lang arithmetic exception colon division by 0. Then do you know SOP of ToString method? Sir, if you are using ToString, SOP of E or SOP of E dot ToString, name of the exception, description. Sir, can you tell what is the difference between these two? Here stack trace is there, but here it is not there. Sometimes my requirement is, boss, I don't want a name also. Just a message is enough. Just a description is enough. Sir, just a division by 0 itself is enough. Then we can go for get message method. Are you getting? So how many methods are there to print exception information to the console? Is nothing but total how many methods are there? 3 methods are there. What is the first one? Print stack trace. Second one ToString. Third one is nothing but get message method. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this. Now let me explain. Here see this one. Here I am taking now 1 minute. Let me execute this code, and you have to get the complete picture. And getting here, just have a look. Try SOP of 10 by 0. First, let me take print stack trace method only. Catch block, print stack trace only I am taking. E dot print stack trace. Now here observe Java C test.java. And now only print stack trace method I used. All the remaining are commented. Now Java test. For the answer, java.lang arithmetic exception division by 0 yet a test dot main. Are you able to understand that? Okay, this. Similarly, sir, I don't want this one. SOP of E or E dot ToString method. SOP of E or E dot ToString method. Now observe. The code compiles fine. What the answer is java.lang.arithmetic exception division by 0 is nothing but like. Sir, now SOP of E, that's all. E, not E.toString. Both are same. Whenever we are trying to print any object reference internally, toString method will be called. That's why have you observed arithmetic exception colon division by 0. Next, sir, I'm taking SOP of E.getMessage. SOP of E.getMessage. Can you tell what is the E.getMessage method? Just only division by 0. Are you getting? So that's all. So how many methods are there to print exception information? 3 methods. These 3 methods you can call on any exception object or on any error object, because these methods present in throwable class. If the parent class contain, automatically you can call those methods on any child object, on any exception object or on any error object. Happily you can call these 3 methods, right? Are you getting? Let me summarize. Let me summarize these things, right? Here see, here I am taking method and printable format. Method and printable format. Method and printable format. So can you tell what is the first method we use? First one, print stack trace. Print stack trace. Okay. In which format the output came? Name of exception. Name of exception colon description of exception, and then what? Stack trace. Okay, that's all. This is the first format, first one. What is the second method we have? Can I spell out what is the second one? What is the second one? ToString method. Now ToString. Can you tell in the ToString what is the format? Name of exception colon description. Name of exception colon description, like is the ToString method. Sir, what is the third one? What is the third we covered? Okay, get message method. Sir, get message method just a print what? Description, that's all. Only description, that's it. Okay, like make sure you people should have clear clarity. Are you getting? Sir, these 3 methods present in which class? Throwable class, so that on any exception or error, happily you can use these methods, right? Clear for all of you? Okay, at this point, what heading you took? Can I spell out? Methods to print exception information. Okay, at throwable class defines the following methods. Throwable class defines the following methods. Throwable class defines the following methods. The following methods to print exception information. Throwable class defines the following methods to print exception information. To print exception information. Okay, take this part. Method printable format. Take the table. Method printable format. First one, print stack trace. First one, print stack trace. So name of exception colon description followed by stack trace. Name of exception colon description followed by stack trace. Name of exception colon description stack trace. Next, second one, ToString method. Second, ToString. Name of exception colon description. Name of exception colon description. Name of exception colon description. Next, third one, get message. Get message. Can I spell out what is the answer? Just a description, like get message itself is a description, like Okay, description like. Are you able to understand? So make sure these are various important things. I mean these methods we have to remember. Next, take this program and the corresponding outputs. Take the program and the corresponding output. So take clearly. Java.lang. Arithmetic exception division by 0 yet a test.main. So I want every complete information. Then we should go for which method? Print stack trace. Next now, I want complete information. Print stack trace. Sir, I want only. Okay, so name of the exception, description. I don't want stack trace. Then toString method. Then toString. Next, I want only description. I want only description. Then get message. Only description. Get message method. Get message. Can I complete it right? Java.lang.arithmetic exception division by 0 like. So I hope terminology is very clear for you people anyway, right? These are. Now I have one doubt now. Can you tell default exception handler internally will use which method to print exception information? Default exception handler. Because in which format default exception handler print? In this format. That's why print stack trace method internally used by default exception handler. Take a note. Internally default exception handler. Internally default exception handler will use. Internally default exception handler will use print stack trace method. Default exception handler will use print stack trace method. Print stack trace method to print exception information to the console. To print exception information to the console. Print stack trace method to print exception information to the console. To the console. That's all. These are various methods to print exception information, right? Okay, now keep submitting. Keep next subtopic. Try with multiple catch blocks. 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 Okay, simple terminology. Legend this one. Suppose if any person is asking, sir, what is your name? If any person is asking, sir, what is your name? Then I can tell my name is Durga. Okay, like I can tell my name is Durga. Like immediately next is asking, sir, what's your qualification? Then my answer is, sir, what's your qualification like? Then my answer is, my name is Durga. Okay, are you getting? My answer is, my name is Durga. Then you thought that sir didn't heard my question like you repeated once again, sir, what's your qualification? Then I told, my name is Durga. Like, then, okay, sir, maybe he's not getting it, seems like. Then you ask her, sir, what subjects you are handling other than SCJP? Are you handling any other subject? Like, then I told, my name is Durga. Okay, why sir is coming for any type of question, same answer. Okay, then you ask her, sir, what is your native place? Like, then I told, my name is Durga. Then immediately I'm sure, then that person is going to check whether we are at SR Nagar or Keragada. Like, definitely is going to check. At Eragada, what there? Non-Hyderabad people. Mental hospital is there at Eragada. Then you may cross check. Are you getting right? So the answer should be based on the question. Correct, right? For any type of question, same answer is nothing but meaningless. Do you know, at our academics, it may run. Any question, answer is the same. Are you getting? Have you remembered academic days? For any type of question, answer is the same. But this type of rule is applicable only for academic exams, not for programming. The way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. Are you getting? The way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. Okay, this is compulsory. For every exception type, recommended to take separate catch block. But very worst, most of the people are going to do you know, just they are following worst kind of programming practice. Here observe, try I'm taking. Legend, this one, try I'm taking. So this is a risky code, whatever there. Risky code is there. Now, they will keep catch exception. Catch exception E. A single catch block they will keep on. Sir, someone came. Sir, arithmetic exception riser. Someone came, sir, arithmetic exception riser. Array, no problem, this catch block can handle. Then, sir, IO exception came. IO exception came, riser. Array, no problem, this catch block is going to take care. Sir, SQL exception came. No problem, this catch block is going to take care. Have you observed? So, the answer is the same. For any type of question, for any type of exception, same handling is nothing but meaningless. Worst kind of programming practice. But very unfortunate, most of the people are following this type of programming only. Okay, this is a catch block exception. This is the worst kind of programming practice. Worst practice, taking a single catch block which can handle any type of exception. Are you getting? But instead of that, what I have to do is, for every exception type, better to maintain a separate catch block. Best example here, see. Sir, I am taking same code, try, risky code anyway there. Sir, catch block, arithmetic exception. Catch block, arithmetic exception E. Catch block, arithmetic exception E. Perform alternative arithmetic operations. Alternative arithmetic operations. Perform alternative arithmetic operations like. Are you getting catch block? Next catch block. Sir, I have, sir, SQL exception came. SQL. QL is the small or capital? Small L only. JDBC. QL. Capital or small? Capital, right? SQL exception. SQL exception came. Okay, if SQL exception came, use MySQL DB instead of Oracle. Use MySQL DB instead of Oracle DB. Next, sir, catch file not found exception came. File not found exception came. File not found exception came. Okay. Use local file. Use a local file instead of a remote file. Use a local file instead of remote file. Are you getting? Sir, for this risky code, these are the most commonly occurred exceptions. Other than that, if any exception come, very rare. Okay. Catch exception E. Catch exception E. Now you can keep at the last worst choice, default exception handling. Default exception handling. Okay, like this. Are you able to understand? Sir, can you tell first approach, second approach, which is the good programming practice? Second approach, because the way of handling an exception, Okay, is varied from exception to exception. Sir, if it is SQL exception, one type of handling. If it is file not found exception, another type of handling. If it is arithmetic exception, another type of handling. That's why the way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. That's why for every exception type, highly recommended to take so separate catch block, right? Try with multiple catch blocks is possible, and it's always a good programming practice. Are you getting? So this one is nothing but best programming practice. It is best practice, Anna. Best practice. This one is nothing but what? Worst kind of programming practice, right? Best kind of programming practice. This is. Are you able to understand? Sir, at any point of time within the try block, only one exception can rise. Sir, why these many catch blocks you are taking? Boss, at any point of time within the try, only one exception will rise, but I don't know which exception is going to rise. It may be arithmetic exception, it may be SQL exception, it may be file not found exception. So at runtime, which exception is going to be raised, I don't know. If I know exactly this, then I can take only corresponding catch block. If I don't know what exact, but for all possible exception, I will take a catch block. Are you getting? So try with the multiple catch blocks. Is it possible or not? Ayo, possible or not? Possible. Is it recommended or not recommended? Recommended. Good programming practice. Okay. At the theory. At the theory. The way of handling an exception. The way of handling an exception. The way of handling an exception. The way of handling an exception is varied from. The way of handling an exception is varied from. The way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. The way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. Varied from exception to exception. Varied from exception to exception. Hence, varied from exception to exception. Hence, for every exception type, it is highly recommended. For every exception type, it is highly recommended to take. For every exception type, it is highly recommended to take separate catch block. For every exception type, it is highly recommended to take separate catch block. Highly recommended to take separate catch block. To take separate catch block. To take separate catch block. That is try with multiple catch blocks is always possible. Try with multiple catch blocks is always possible. Try with multiple catch blocks is always possible. And recommended to use. Try with multiple catch blocks is always possible and recommended to use. Recommended to use. That's all. Okay. Take both the examples side by side. Take both examples side by side. Sir, first one, a single catch block we are taking. Try, risky code catch, any type of exception, single catch block. Worst programming practice. Worst programming practice. Worst programming practice. Next, this one. Try risky code, catch arithmetic exception E. This one, best programming practice. Try risky code, catch arithmetic exception E. Perform alternative arithmetic operations. Next, catch SQL exception E. Use MySQL DB instead of Oracle DB. Use MySQL DB instead of Oracle DB. Catch file not found exception E. Use local file instead of remote file. Use the local file instead of remote file. Next, catch exception E, default exception handling. Catch exception E, default exception handling. Default exception handling. So this one is nothing but best programming practice. So try with the multiple catch blocks is always a good programming practice and are recommended to use. Completed. Worst programming practice, this one best programming practice. Okay, completed, I hope. Next one. Okay, but here there are some small loopholes are there. That part I will discuss. Just observe this one. So there are two important loopholes. That part let me explain. Okay, what the first loophole here is, observe. Sir, I am taking try I am taking. Now legend this one try. Now here just some risky code we can take. Risky code, catch block. Try some risky code I am taking. Catch block, catch block. Here exception E I am taking. Try catch block exception E. Next catch block I am taking arithmetic exception E. Arithmetic exception E, like this I am taking. Okay, this is the try followed by two catch blocks I am taking. Sir, same code I am taking. Try. Sir, risky code. Try risky code. Catch block I am taking. Try risky code, catch block. Arithmetic exception E. Arithmetic exception E. Catch block, exception E. Catch block, exception E, like this I am taking. So total. So two syntaxes are there. Can you tell which is valid, which is invalid? Or both are valid, or both are invalid? Yes. Of course, I am not asking recommended or not recommended. Which are valid or not? How many people are feeling both are valid? Both are valid. Think a bit logically. If both are valid, why I am writing on the board? Compulsory there should be some loophole. Okay, what is that loophole? Yes, here see. First one perfectly. First one invalid, automatically second one valid. Okay, what is the reason? Listen very carefully. Sir, here null pointer exception came. Assume null pointer exception came. If the null pointer exception came, immediately JVM is going to check. So JVM will ask. JVM will always contact the catch blocks from top to bottom. So first JVM can contact this person. Hey, catch block, can you handle null pointer exception or not? What answer this person can tell? Yes, I can. Oh, this person can handle, the problem solved. Assume arithmetic exception riser. Now JVM will ask which person first catch block. Hey JVM, can you handle arithmetic exception or not? What answer this person is going to tell? Yes boss, I can handle. If arithmetic exception also handled here, then when this person will get the chance? Never. Then this person game also already played by this person only. Okay, this is Telugulo cinema untadi naata kuda bommarillu cinema na. So the parent is always playing the kid game also, is nothing na. This person game also played by this person only, then what is the need of this person? Are you getting right? Okay, this make sure. So this person never going to get in the chance, because this person job already performed by this person only. That's why immediately compile time error by default we are going to get saying exception java.lang.arithmetic exception java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. Boss, exception has already been caught. This exception already caught here. Why you are writing once again this catch block? Is nothing but waste, syntactical mistake. That's why compile time error by default we are going to get. Are you able to understand? So here, if a try with the multiple catch blocks are there, then the order of catch blocks is also important. Okay, this is. Now here say, sir, null pointer exception came. Assume null pointer came. Then immediately my JVM will ask, oi, can you handle null pointer or not? What answer this person can tell? No boss, I can't handle. Then can you handle or not? Yes, I can handle. Problem solved. Now second, arithmetic exception riser. Then I will ask, boss, can you handle arithmetic exception? Yes or no? Yes. Oh, you can. If it is arithmetic exception, this catch block. If it is a non-arithmetic exception, this catch block. Both catch blocks will get a chance or not? Yes, there is a possibility. That's why this one is nothing but perfectly valid. Now the conclusion is, if a try with multiple catch blocks are there, order of catch blocks is very, very important. First we have to take child and then parent. Are you getting? First we have to take child and then parent. By mistake, if you are taking first parent and then child, compile time error by default you are going to get. Any explanation is required about this one? Okay, at this point, at the point, well at this point. Okay, if a try with the multiple catch blocks present, if try with the multiple catch blocks present, try with the multiple catch blocks present, then try with the multiple catch blocks present, then try with the multiple catch blocks present, then the order of catch blocks is very important. Then the order of catch blocks is very important. 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 We have to take child first and then parent. We have to take child first and then parent. We have to take child first and then parent. Otherwise we will get compile time error. Otherwise we will get compile time error saying, otherwise we will get compile time error saying, yeah, better to take from screen, saying exception x has already been caught. Exception xxx has already been caught. Exception xxx has already been caught. This is the compile time error we got. Are you getting? Now just let me show this example right here. See, sir, first I am taking try SOP of 10/0, catch block and catch exception and then catch arithmetic exception. Sir, can you tell, is it valid or invalid? Invalid. Here I have shown compile time error. Can you please read Anna? Exception java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. Exception java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. This is the compile time error we are going to get. Now observe this one. Sir, if I can take first catch arithmetic exception and then normal exception, the code is going to compile or not? Yes, there is no problem at all. Happily the code compiles and runs fine, because I am not printing anything inside catch. Okay, this is. So if try with the multiple catch blocks are there, the order of catch blocks is very important. Compulsory we have to take from child to parent. By mistake, if you are taking from parent to child, compile time error we are going to get. Okay, take this example, son, both. try, risky code, catch block, exception. Next catch block, arithmetic exception. Here that compile time error also clearly. Exception, java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. Java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. This is the compile time error we are going to get. Has already been caught. Next, but second one is the value. We have to take child to parent, but not from parent to child. By mistake, if you are taking from parent to child, compile time error we are going to get. Completed, right? By mistake, if you are taking from parent to child, compile time error we are going to get. Okay. One more thing here, just observe. So another loophole, but anyway, concept is not new, but the point may be different. Same point in different style I am going to project. Here see, sir, I am taking try block. Sir, try I am taking. So anyway, risky code only there. Try block, risky code. Now catch block I am taking. Arithmetic exception E. Sir, I am taking catch block, arithmetic exception E. Now I am taking catch block, arithmetic exception E only. Catch block, arithmetic exception, catch block, arithmetic exception E. Can you tell if the code is going to compile or not? Ayo, is it going to compile or not? Make sure. So the code won't compile, because if arithmetic exception occurs, this one is going to handle. This person game also played by this person only. Then what is the need of this? Are you getting? So this person job already played here. Then what is the need of this one? So that's why immediately compile time error we are going to get here, saying, can I spell out what is that exception? Exception, java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. This is the compile time error by default we are going to get. Can any explanation is required? That's why make sure you people should aware exception, arithmetic exception has already been caught. Itself is the compile time error we are getting. So make sure the terminology. If we are declaring two catch blocks for the same exception, if we are declaring two catch blocks for the same exception, then we will get what? Runtime exception saying like this. Okay, compile time error saying like this. Add. We can't declare two catch blocks for the same exception. We can't declare two catch blocks for the same exception. We can't declare two catch blocks for the same exception. For the same exception. We can't declare two catch blocks for the same exception. Otherwise, we will get compile time error. Otherwise, we will get compile time error. Otherwise, we will get compile time error. We will get compile time error. Okay, take this point. Try, risky code, catch block, arithmetic exception E. Catch block, arithmetic exception E. Next exception, java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. Exception, java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. Has already been caught. Like compile time error we are going to get. Java.lang.arithmetic exception has already been caught. Like, can I complete it, right? So that's all. This is what you people should aware clearly write. Okay, so this is a try with the multiple catch blocks.